Today in a 2013 Ford F-350 Super Duty Crew Cab, we'll be showing and installing the WeatherTech front and rear mud flaps, part number WT110020-120030. We've gone ahead and installed them on our passenger side, and you can see how they match up to the contours of the bodywork. This will be a no-drill install, and they either use existing hardware or provide the hardware as needed to install. Now they're more semi-rigid, closer to the vehicle with more flexibility towards the bottom. From the bottom edge of the bodywork to the bottom edge of a mud flap will be about 8 inches for the front and about 9 3/4 inches for the rear mud flap. Now let's show you how they install. We'll start with the front. We'll go ahead and remove the factory fastener located here and here. To remove these screws, we'll be using a 5.5 millimeter socket. We'll go ahead and take our mud flap and put it up in position. We'll make sure it fits around the bodywork, and we'll reinstall our fasteners. We'll go ahead and run down our hardware, just take up some of the slack. We'll still leave it loose so we can move around to install the last bit of hardware. Our hardware will be this stainless steel bolt with Phillips head, a stainless Fender washer, and a lock nut. Let's go ahead and run this through the bottom of our mud flat, move around to run it through the existing hole in the bodywork, and reaching from the top and going down, it's a little bit of an odd angle, we can install our flange nut. Now looking from underneath the truck, it might be a little bit easier to see what's going on. But our screws right here, and the threads of our screw are right here. We'll run it down and get started. Then we'll use the number 2 Phillips screw on the outside to tighten it down. Alright, with all our hardware loosely installed, we'll go ahead and tighten them down. I like to start with the ones on the outside first, and then do the bottom one. And when we tighten these down, we don't have to crush them, just where they tighten up and stop on their own. Go ahead and give the old shake test, and firmly installed. And literally it only took a few moments to really install these. With the front mud flaps completed, we'll go ahead and move on to the rear set for the passenger side. Looking underneath the truck, facing out, we can see the fastenings we have to remove. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 plastic rivets we have to remove, and 1 small screw. On the plastic rivets, there's typically a small edge where you can take a flat screwdriver and work it inside and open up the center of the rivet. Once you have it loosened up, you can pull out the center more and then the whole rivet. If you have a trim panel tool, this actually works really good to pull the rivets out as well. Now to remove that screw, we used a 5.5 millimeter socket. All right, next we need to go ahead and install our hardware for these holes right here. You can see this piece of hardware right here, they get replacements to cover up the holes that were used by plastic rivets. So with the flat side facing out, it's nice and centered, and let's go ahead and install the rest of them. All right, we'll go ahead and put this liner, let it fall back into place. Then we'll stack our new mud flap on top of it and install new hardware. Our new hardware will be a new stainless steel screw and a flat fender washer. We'll just get them all started, and then we'll tighten them down for good. Now all hardware loosely installed, we'll go ahead and tighten it down. Now we'll need a different size socket. We're going to use a simple 1/4-inch socket. When we tighten these down, we don't have to crush them, just run them down to they naturally want to stop. Alright, and that'll finish it for part number WT110020-120030, the WeatherTech Mud Flaps on our 2013 Ford F-350 Super Duty Crew Cab.